Bear with me for just a moment. All right. I don't even know if this is high enough. Let's see here. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome. Yeah, it's probably not high enough. Whatever. I'm Go Vira Go Home. Welcome to the Saturday Kit Builds. Tonight I asked the question, does it count if I do the layout instead? If I work on the layout? Absolutely. Hopefully. I mean, it should, right? Most of my layout right now, as you guys know, I had to rebuild it. But it's kind of like a kit, because I've got all these pieces right now, and I got to put them all together. So it'll be like I'm building a kit. No kites. No kites. But yeah, I've got a few pieces here for modules. I can show you what I've already built. I did quite a bit today as well, and we'll be able to get a few more modules up tonight because I've got about three that are ready. Yeah, about 3 that are ready to go, and of course I'm going to build a small one as well. So we'll call that 4. I might only have enough legs to do 2 though, so we'll see what happens. But I do want to say hi to everybody that did take the time to show up tonight. I know Saturdays aren't as busy of a night for me. It's not as good as the Thursdays, but we're still here. We're still hanging out. So hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for watching. All right, so what I have been working on. So I'll show you first and foremost. So this is a big portion of my layout right now. This is one entire length, I guess you could say. This consists of 3 4-foot long modules, a 2-foot long module, and then at each end there's a 3-foot module. And the 3-foot modules are where I make my turns, where I do the curved sections, and then yeah, a lot of the straight sections obviously are my 4-foot long. You can see my ethanol plant. I've kind of already established where some of that is going to go, and yeah, so some of it's kind of set in stone. I mean, it's removable still, but we've still got lots more to do there. So it's taking shape. And I think in this area here, what I wanted to achieve basically is that over the course of the 2 4-foot modules, or the 8-foot length, I wanted to fit most, if not all, of my ethanol buildings, because there is quite a bit. I wanted to add to it, and then I also wanted to make sure that I had enough track to support the industry with both grain car drop-off and then the transfer to tank car as well. So you can pick up and drop off tank cars. So that's kind of what we're going to do here with that. I'll talk more about the construction of the modules after. And if you did miss my video on that, you can always go check it out, which is my how to build a modular layout, because I did start that series. But I'm sure there's like so many different ways to do this. This is just how I'm doing it. And to be honest, it's still under $100. I haven't spent over $100 yet on material because most of the material that I'm using, which we'll take a look at tonight, it's all from the old layout, except for plywood. So I had to go out and get new plywood. But it's fresh, it's clean, and it works. So there's that as well. Here's another view of, well, it's kind of like the long shot of it, where it's going, you know, all the way up. It's going to be a nice, long, straight track on both sides. So we'll see a lot of trains, you know, doing loops and whatnot. But as we go on and as we expand it, we'll be able to do a bit more. Maybe have some branch lines and whatnot, so that'll be fun. But at the moment, we just have we're gonna have it as a giant oval, and it's a double track main line, so I'll be able to run 2 trains at the same time, which is great, and I won't have to worry about them hitting each other, which is even better, because with the old layout I kind of had to really pay attention to it. Here I should be able to just put the trains on, let them go, and, you know, just kind of be able to pay more attention to you guys while they're running, unless I'm obviously doing a operational type thing. So that'd be good. So of course, with this, let's see here. Why do I have that twice? That's weird. Okay, remove that one. Okay. So I think what we'll do is I'll kind of show you how I've constructed some of these modules, and we'll do that by building one. I think that would probably be the best thing to do. So I'm gonna bring this camera over here. I don't normally do work like this live, but then again, how many times have I built a layout live, right? Yep. I also don't want to be right in front of the camera so you guys can't see, but I think that should be good. Whoops. Until I knock everything over, of course. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Test piece. Okay, so I just got to remember what all these do, and I'll be right with you. I got a lot of cutting done today and a lot of building done on this, and I'm doing the final stretch, which is down this way. So that's fun. Okay. So where's the measure? 23, 24, and 24. Oh, I know what that was. That was the other one. Just want to make sure that all my pieces are correct here, because there's nothing worse than putting something together and you put it together wrong and you're doing it live and it makes for a horrible demonstration. Unless the demonstration is what not. So like I've said before, in regards to this, I pre-drill everything. I want to make sure that nothing splits. And it's not to say that I haven't had anything split, but nothing major. I can do little repairs here and there, make sure that everything's good. So. It's almost like building a boxcar kit, only it's not a car, but it is definitely a box, and it's definitely wood. Now the other thing I definitely wanted to do with this is using the wood glue. I use Lepage, whatever you want to call it. And I use that in conjunction with screws, and it just holds it and just makes it stronger. Again, there's been no major issues with this. I know it's not everybody's favorite type of wood to use, but for a 4x8 sheet, it only cost me about $13. And I had those wonderful people at the store cut them into the 4-inch widths. So it was very easy to transport because I'm an SUV, so having the 8-foot lengths was okay, but yeah, they were 4-inch wide strips, so it made it very easy to transport. Should eat vegetables. What's a vegetable? Nah, I'm just kidding. Actually, funny story, when I went to the Home Depot this past week, I've been on vacation all week, so I've had lots of free time to work on things, you know. I had run out of screws and I needed more pink foam, so I went to the local Home Depot and I needed somebody to cut something for me. I got one of the new guys because he wasn't allowed to use it. But when I said, excuse me, sir, because that's how I greet people, and I said, excuse me, sir, and then he turned around and he saw that I was wearing my EJ&E shirt. So he totally diverted from the entire thing, because then he started talking to me about the EJ&E. So that was interesting. He never did call for help, though, so there's that. But, you know, it is what it is. I like this side. Hopefully that's not too loud and irritating. It is a drill, but... I should really have those clamps that are the corner clamps. I don't have any fancy tools like that. But I've done alright so far. I think, anyways. Yeah, I don't have a secondary drill as well, so when I change my bit every 5 seconds, it might be a little bit harder to watch for some of you. I barely have one of every tool, let alone 2 of every tool. But wouldn't that be something? Are you guys counting how many times I change it? If you count, there'll be a quiz later. Funny thing is, I was worried about getting too many screws. I ended up getting 3 packages of these so far, but should have just got the big one. Not a huge deal though. I hope it's square. That would suck if it wasn't square. which way did I do this? So that would be there, and then that should be there. Okay, yeah, so that would be like, okay, so then, yeah, that would be like that. Now, even though this is one of my 2x2s, I still put the leg holders on it. And the very simple reason for that is that if this as a module, which is 2 foot by 2 foot, by 2 foot. Yeah. Wanted to make sure. As a module that's 2 foot by 2 foot, this is its own thing. This could be a diorama, you know? So I could remove this from the layout, put 4 legs on it, and then, or 2 sets of legs, because the legs, I'll show you later with the legs, but I could put this on legs and work on it as is, just by itself. Or sit it on the table, whatever, I don't care. Or take it as a picture module, right? Do that whole thing. And it's nice and small, sturdy. I can put it in the back of my SUV and, you know, take pictures or something. Take it somewhere, trackside, or out into the bush, I don't know, wherever people get pictures taken of module. So I always cut, these are only 7 inches tall. It's so easy to set your chop saw. So all you got to do is you put a block in, and then you have the clamp hold it down, and then you have your long 2x4, you butt up against it, chop, and then remove, put the next one in, chop, and then it gives you the exact same chop every single time. It's great. Pro tip right there. But yeah, so this is my test. I know I put test on it. It's really just my buffer piece here for doing this. But yeah, so basically I just put that like that. And again, all it is just drilling and then gluing. Now I did put the piece of wood, you'll see it after. It's a piece like this. I put it under, right at the end, but under here. It sits flat, and then these sit right on top of it. And it's basically just to raise it up, and I don't have to guess the height. It's just a spacer. But that's going to go there anyways, so. And this, no matter what size module I do, I have the exact same process for all of them. It's just different measurements. So right now I've got a 3 foot by 3 foot, a 2 foot by 4 foot, a 2 foot by 2 foot, and the other one I have is a 1 foot by 3 foot, which is basically just an extension for my 3 foot by 3 foot. So it just makes it 4 foot by 3 foot. But that's really just to go in between my 2 3x3s, just to kind of give it a bit more of a straight section there. I'm going to have to put along with the curve that goes around, I have to put a piece that's going to come off straight as well, and it's going to go probably into my office. I know you can't really see it. Unless I go like this. No, you can't see it. Okay, that's fine. I'll show you after. But there you go. So like this is attached to to here now. And I do the same thing over here. Again, a lot of repetitive stuff. So I've just kind of been mindlessly doing this. And it's fun. This is fun to me. And I love building bench work. It's probably the quickest and easiest thing when it comes to building your layout. Especially with the fact that this one's not elaborate at all. There's nothing too fancy about it. And it's very inexpensive. As I was saying, I really haven't spent all that much money. So for those of you who might be short on space, short on cash, this is what I'm kind of hoping to achieve here, because not all layouts are made the same, right? Not all layouts cost the same amount. So for those of you who want a little bit more of a budget-friendly layout that you can expand on later, then this is definitely the way to go. Why is screwing wood together so much fun? I've never really stopped to think about it, but you're 100% right. There's something satisfying and natural about it, you know? Especially when they like perfectly line up and it just fits. And of course, I choose to wear all black when I work with sawdust. Also, every other day of the week. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it's more fun when it comes to laundry day, I guess. Couldn't see the chat. It's been a long day, so my eyes are a little... Don't forget, we are getting closer to the August barbecue. And if you're yet to fill out that the form, then please send that in so that we know how many burgers to make and all that, and food to bring. So Brendan and I were actually at Smiths Falls yesterday, the site of where we're doing the barbecue. And they were doing a lot of work in the yard. And for the first time ever, I was watching them kick the cars, if you will. Almost made it feel like it was some hump yard action, but they were kicking the cars. And I don't know if you've ever seen that in person, but that was the first time I had seen that, and I got a kick out of it. You know what? Pun intended. Yeah, that was definitely... I set myself up for that one. I got a kick out of it. I did manage to find some cork as well. And that's another reason why I'm kind of like okay, I'm moving forward. I'm doing a lot more now because I was very much at a standstill, wondering, well, okay, well, is it going to be possible to use cork? Should I use an alternate method? To be honest, everything's going to be fine because there's cork. So, yep. It is Atlas cork, though. I don't know if you guys have used Atlas cork versus Midwest. To be honest, it's the exact same size, same shape. It's a little lighter in color. It looks closer to what cork looks like. That more orangey-ish color. As opposed to the Midwest, which is more like a brown. What does that mean, kick the car? So, the cars, you know how in a hump yard, how they drive the thing to the top of the hump, and then the cars are uncoupled, and they release one at a time, or two at a time, and then the switches divert them to go to whichever siding that they need to be, you know, divided into. Just like that, only, well, you've seen Smith's Falls, it's pretty flat, right? So instead of humping it, they just push it and then stop the train, and then the car keeps going. You can also do the same thing by like putting your cars together and not coupling them. So you know how they go like this and then they lock like that? If you do it like this, you can kick the car easily that way. Yeah, it's like a little coffee table, right? Now this helps for squaring them as well, because these are cut square. And see how that sits perfectly? That's flat. That, I mean, like the wood's like, meh. But when I drill it in and I hold it, it's usually good. And then I put a bit of glue on there too. And when I say a bit, I mean a little. I'm usually, like I don't use a lot of glue with this because you don't need a lot of this. I think most of it actually absorbs into the wood, to be honest with you, but there we go. So remember I was telling you about wood from the old layout as well? Each module is also infused with some of this, which is what I use to make, dare I say, cruddier modules. I was making like 2 foot by something, whatever the size was, back on my 3-level layout. So this is from 2 layouts ago. And this is where I'm saying, like, save what you can. If you can use it, great. And then if you can't, well, better have a darn good reason why you can't use it. So this here is from a couple layouts ago. And I put it like this just to... It does a couple of things here, and I'll show you once I get it on here, of course. That's my biggest clamp, actually. I know it's a sad story, but it's one of those things. It's not my best story. It's not even my worst story. But this helps to make things square as well. Sorry. I did. I definitely did. And actually, that's another thing that I'm taking a bit of a different approach on as well. So instead of doing an inch of foam in there and an inch of foam on top, which, I don't know, that would have been like $60 for one sheet. I did 1/2 inch, right? And that's on the inside like this. Whoops. That's on the inside. But then what I do, because that creates a bottom layer or base layer, over top of it, I have a full sheet that goes like that, and then they'll get glued together, kind of sandwiched, and then this is the top layer where your cork and whatnot will go. But I can dig down, if need be, for like a gullies and whatnot. What do they call them? I called it a gully, but you know what I'm talking about. I'll take you around to the other side of the modules in a minute, and that way you'll be able to see the actual setup of the whatchamacallit there. The ethanol. Whoops. I want to use a smaller piece over here. This one's the 2 foot by 2 foot isn't as important, so I use a scrap piece on here because it's just extra. So disregard that. If you're wondering why this piece is much smaller than that piece, just didn't want this one to go to waste, that's all. Again, this will all be covered over anyways, so that part really won't matter. Module. So on the module, and with the module, you just you got a module once in a while, you know. To say James is moving to Ottawa, let it be known that if James moves to Ottawa and I happen to leave Ottawa, they are two completely separate things and are in no way of relation to one another, and there was no plan there in any other way to avert closeness, or whatever you want to call it. That was my PSA for the day. Okay, so sorry, I'm probably in the camera's way again. last thing I gotta do is a center one here. Gotta push this back. Why is it right here? It's because this is just a scrap piece. These are the smaller ones, so it didn't matter to me as much. But I'm going to show you why these pieces are here in the first place. Whoops. Wrong bit. You gotta change the bit again. One more screw, and then this one is done. I promise. I mean, either way, this has to be done, so I might as well just do it live, you know? Okay, so I was telling you that I have these bars here basically, and they're on this side of the 2x4 that holds the leg in place. So let me see. So we're going to pretend that this here is the leg. It's obviously way too short to be the leg, but when the leg goes in there, okay, so the leg is in. That holds it this way in between here. And then these are just the kickouts so that if it moves forward, it's only going to move like an inch, not even. So those will just hold them in place, basically. And yeah, the legs come down, whatever. But I don't normally put legs on my 2x2s or even on the 1x1, but I still put these on it anyways. And it's snug, right? It's not so tight that you can't remove it. And again, they're all built the same way. So I'm gonna let this one dry because the glue is still wet. And I think we're gonna do a couple of legs so that we can possibly set up a couple more modules. But I'm gonna take you over here for a minute. Okay, so to show you this end of things here. So these are my two 3x3s. Okay, so you got 3 foot, 3 foot. And then this is the 1x3 here. This was just the spacer. I've got the inside leg holsters on it still, but it's just a floating module. There's the 4 legs and 4 legs. And yeah, from there, this is just your turnaround, right? you got your, well, I'm not probably going to use that, but that's just, I wanted to see what I could fit here. And it's going to come right around and come out here to go back down that way. But I also want to put a straight piece here to go, and it's going to, I'm hoping it goes through the wall there. Might have to move that 2x4 that goes across. But once all that stuff is removed from in there, I can really do whatever. So I want to make another one of these. Another 3x3. But it's going to hold my giant maintenance facility. That'll fit on a 3x3. And I'll tie it in, and then it'll fit with the rest of the layout somehow. I'll make it work, or as a standalone project, I don't care. But yeah. So once the 3x3 is on the end here, it'll give me about 1.5 to 2 feet clearance here that I can walk around. And all this stuff will be out of the way, obviously. And this side here, you'll see the main line going all the way down. I wouldn't mind doing a backdrop on the inside. I got rid of all my old backdrop that I used on my last 2-3 layouts because it was next to impossible to remove and not wreck. So there's that. We've got, I started marking out some stuff here. So when I was at Larkspur, we went to Larkspur the other day, I got 2 of the large Code 100 turnouts. And they're going to go here. And then you can also enter. And then there's going to be storage track that's going to go right around like that. Then we've got tanker storage here. That'll probably will come back. I gotta fix this up. There's a couple of broken pieces on it from all the moves. But we're gonna come back. So when you come into the facility, you come in and you come back, and then you're gonna drive right through here, which is your drop off. Then you'll be able to back right up to here or through here just to store them. And then you can get your local switcher or whatever to do that, which I gotta still figure that out. And then of course your tankers can go up into here. I had to reduce this quite a bit. I left a lot of buildings out because I only have so much room. I wanted to get a couple more tanks, maybe at least one more tank, like the tall tank, to do 2 here for storage, and then like push this down. But I didn't see anything I liked as far as like the Walthers, because that's a Walthers tank there. So yeah, I didn't see anything else I liked really. And then this might not go here. That I might not even use that at all. And I wanted to get either 1 or 2 more of these wet-dry bins, just the storage bins, put here with a grain elevator that goes up to feed all of them. You'll notice I've got the masonite here, and when you see my next video, because I've been working on my part 2 video, this entire thing here is just like how I did my ITLA buildings. So I have this as a base, and then I'm going to lock all these buildings into this so that if I need to remove this whole thing, all the buildings will come with it, but all the track and whatnot will stay on here. That way, if I have to transport it, I can transport this as a scene or scenery with the ballast and whatnot, and then that'll get moved separately from the actual module itself. So no tracks will go back in here. It's all just building and static display. I can put little people and whatnot, but I'll make it look like it's blended. Because yeah, there's a lot of things like this here that get attached and shouldn't be moved because they're very finicky. I know I was like working on things, so a couple of things fell, but including like that there, which whatever, I gotta fix that. And then I gotta run a pipe to there. But yeah, so this is where they drop off the stuff. I want to add more lighting to all these as well. I think it would look really good with some more gooseneck and whatnot. This has lighting in here, so I want to have this whole section lit up with the Just Plug. And I'll show you something else I did. You'll see this in the video. But see these 2x4s? They're screwed down to this, or this is screwed to that, whatever you want to say. And basically, all that means is that if you bump this or whatever, it's not going to move too far. They're pretty stuck. Same thing with that building, and I think it's this silo here. It might be this silo. There's a 2x4 in there as well that's keeping it from really moving too much. So, and then the same thing with this building here. This won't. Well, that'll move because that's broken. I gotta fix a lot of this. So we'll be working on a lot of these kits as well. Like this isn't weathered yet, but that one is. You know, so and I want to redo some of these concrete things here. So I'm going to be revamping this now that I'm actually going to be implementing it and using it. So I look forward to, you know, working on this stuff and getting that going. For here, I've got my 4-foot and a 2-foot module. I haven't 100% decided what I want to do on this side. All I know is that I have a crossover here, which is the opposite to the other end. So I'll be able to use that also as a passing siding if I need to. Just in case we're working on this side, I can go around and then avert that way. So I'm going to be adding stuff like that on both sides or periodically just to, you know, help with train traffic. But I thought, I'm like, well, okay, so I've got ethanol here. I could do lumber here, or I could revisit, if you remember from like 3 layouts ago, I don't know. It started off as a Canadian Tire distribution, but then I changed it to Beaver Lumber. I kind of want to bring back the Beaver Lumber and then put that here so we're dropping off lumber. That'd be cool. I could always get a couple of lumber cars. Yep. Yeah, that'd be neat. And then they'd also take box cars and whatnot as well, which I'm not opposed to. But yeah, and I've got this entire section here. I want to do a really big bridge here to kind of separate that scene from this scene. And then possibly a road crossing as well, so street level and overpass. I haven't really thought about what I want to do as far as my curved sections yet. Because right now they're just return loops or whatever. Reverse loops. So, but yeah, once I get all this in place, I'll be able to add a lot more piping and whatnot as well. You can kind of see that I've placed this here, but I'll be able to make that a lot more permanent. And then I'll do the same thing over here with these buildings. And we'll just have the whole thing removable after, which is great. Should make things easier when it comes to moving. Because we know it's going to happen at some point. So why fight? Was there any, I don't know if there was any questions or not. How about the pipe cars? Yeah, true. I could always do a pipe facility because I've got a bunch of pipe cars. That would be kind of cool because that's all more rural, where the warehouse building for lumber might be a bit more inner city, so we'll see. It's still early yet. I'm not 100%. I'm not set on anything like that yet, but I know that on this side here. So when we're looking at this side, I kind of have to bring you over this way. So when we're looking down this way, I've already got two modules that are set up here, but because I got to attach them to each other and then I have to add legs. Those two are going to be paper mill. So once those are set up, I'll be able to remove my paper mill that's in there, because that's all still set up. I'm going to remove all that, and it's going to go right onto those two modules here that are going right here. That leaves me with two more modules. The 2x2 that I just built and another 2x4, which I will have to reincorporate my ITLA kits onto those. So they will be on this side, kind of like how this layout was. It's going to be more or less a fusion of several layouts. Because, yeah, it's not like I didn't like what was on those. I liked how they were set up. I liked how they looked. Function-wise, and obviously, you know, having to take them apart and whatnot and losing a lot of that, it does put a damper on things. So that's why doing it this way, in more of a modular form, will be a lot better. And I'll be able to keep them. I'll be able to work on them longer and do a lot more with them. Hopefully add lighting and stuff too, like I was saying, because that's important. I love adding the lighting and stuff like that to it. Should do those legs though now. This might be a bit noisier. The best part about all this is that it's already all leveled. I found a couple of sweet spots on the ground there, and everything's more or less worked out. So the whole thing is level. I'm kind of checking it as I go. And to join between the modules, so this is kind of what I decided. So I'm using code 100. So I got two different kinds of code. Well, here, that one's still in the package. So I'll just get the ones I've already removed from the package. It's a lot easier. So I've got two different ones here. So I've got the straight ones. These will be on the straight sections of track that go module to module. And then for the curved ones, because I don't want a huge long straight piece like that, I've got the half size. So this is 1.5 inch and this is 3 inch. And yeah, so these will, you'll curve, go into that and then curve. Or in this case, I've got some sections there that I need to add a switch to that. But these are going to be completely removable. The club that we have up here, very similar. They cut their own, but I'm just going to use this because it's pre-cut and it is what it is. So I got a bunch of those from the Otter and a bunch more rail joiners, code 100 Pico rail joiners. And that's basically how I'm going to join every single module together. And Mark's still in the chat, yeah? Okay, so Mark, when you go to Larkspur, because you said that you were looking for cork. This is a big box of 40. You get 40 in a box. I opted to just get 20 because I was not willing to spend $380 on 40 pieces. So I spent about 150 and I got 20. And this is what Atlas cork looks like. It looks a little bit cleaner, actually. Cleaner than, but it's the exact same thing. You peel it apart. So unlike the foam where you'd have to cut it and it's kind of sloppy, but there you go. And it feels weird. It's a little smoother, I guess, but it's the exact same thing as Midwest. And because I've got Midwest here, I can show you for the non-believers. Shun the non-believers. Okay, so this is Midwest. See how much, like, it's very janky compared to this, but you can definitely see an obvious difference between the two. And this is a lot stiffer, where this is very soft. Now, when I'd seen the pricing, when they did get Midwest cork in, it was about $9.50 for a sheet, where I paid $7.50 a sheet for this. So you're also technically saving money, even though I'm sure a lot of us remember when it was $2.50 for a sheet of this, right? Which it hurts a little bit, but at the same time, you know, if there's a shortage, it is what it is. You know, you can't really do much with those cork trees, right? So there you go. And they still have, obviously, the other 20 from this box. And then they had, I think, 2 other boxes. So it's there for when you need it. Unless somebody else went and bought it all. I'm sure by the time this is done, people will have bought it all. Let's see here. Yeah, there's still lots of sawdust down here, despite the fact that I'm doing all my cutting upstairs. So here is one of my 2x4 modules. And I'm just going to stand that there for a minute, and hopefully it doesn't fall. Now, something else that I'm planning on doing, you'll notice that all my legs are the exact same, and they almost create an underside shelving system, which I do plan on doing something like that. But it's for my son's Lego train. So he wants to do a shelf just under mine, and it'll basically just run end to end and with a loop at each end. I don't know how much track he has, but that should work. He just wants to be able to set it up and run them here and there. And then when we move, I'll build him his own train table for his room. $0.75 when you started. Well, I'm definitely getting ripped off then. Even though it's mostly inflation. I know. But still, you can't help but hate inflation, right? Okay, so this might be a bit more noisy, just for the simple fact that these are a bigger screw. Oh, my battery died. It's a good thing I charge while I work. So I did a shelf here, and these are 30 inches up, and my bottom one is six inches up. And I'll put a piece of plywood that's, because this piece here is 20 inches long this way. So I'll get a piece of ply that's 19 or 20. Well, I'm sure if I do 20 it'll be snug, but might do like 19 to 20 inches, maybe 19 and a half. That way it'll just slide right in, and I'll run it right from one end to the other, and then that way he has a section underneath there that he can run the Lego train on. Usually I have my assistant helping me, but he's taking the afternoon or the evening off because he was helping me all day today. I should just clear off that table or that end. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for stopping by. So because this month does have an extra week to it, we'll be over on Denny's channel next Thursday. Just in case anybody was wondering. Woof woof. So I gotta go around to this side. another thing, I'm going to eventually make more legs as well. Most of these are, well, my big 3x3s, they each have four legs, so 2 sets of these, just bigger. And then I've got one module that has 2 sets, and then the rest of them just have 1 set. But eventually they will mostly all have 2 sets. I just want to make sure I've got enough legs first, and then I will make more later. So that came out pretty easy. I'm just gonna move this over to the side. I'm running out of room too. That's another difficult thing that I'm dealing with right now, but we'll get through it. I think I've dealt with no room for like the past, I don't know how many years. Ugh. Or not that it's no room, that I have no room, it's that I haven't had that much room. Definitely not as much as I'd like. Does help when you have everything pre-cut for you. I mean, I did all the cutting today, so that's why most of this is going together pretty quick, right? So, there's that. And again, because this is a specific shape, this will work on all my 2 foot by 4 foot or 2 foot by 2 foot modules. Just won't work on the 3 foot by 3 foot. I feel it's obvious, but I'm going to say it out loud anyways. One set of legs. I haven't decided what the front and the back of those modules are yet, but I'll have to do that eventually. Might as well build the other one here. Bring my module back. And if you're wondering about the size of my legs, and I am talking about these legs. These are 47.5 inches. So this, with the 1/2 inch wood right on top of it, puts me exactly at 4 feet tall. So with the 1/2 inch foam that's on top of that, I'm technically, my overall height as far as module is 4 foot and 1/2 inch. So that is way different than what I had before, which was 30 inches. Big difference. Just to kind of show you, 30 inches was right there. And maybe, well, that was the leg, so then I had about, yeah, it was about 33 inches was the height of my old layout, where now it's 4 feet. Or, 4 feet or 48 inches. So at least, yeah, almost a whole foot and something, I don't know, way taller. You know, it's later on in the day when I just don't want to math. They go in pretty easy, right? So it's just a matter of lining them up, putting them where they need to go, and then you're good to go. So I mark at 6 inches, and that's going to be the top of the 2x4. And what was the other one? 6 inches and 30 inches? Yeah, I think it was 30 inches. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it was 6 and 30. Yeah, 30 inches. Okay, I'm good. That's another good thing about doing a lot of repetition here. A lot of the same cuts, a lot of the same measurements. It'll be a lot easier to make more. And it's a lot easier to get a lot of the same cuts. And everything will fit, interchange, all that fun stuff. Now, doing a giant loop like this as well is going to be really good for doing the live streams where I have trains running. I'll be able to position the cameras a little bit better so that I won't have to move them as much unless I'm doing those close-ups on signature scenes and all that, where you kind of want to see them run by at a closer look. A closer view, I should say. bit tighter. So I'm just gonna give it the boot. Oh shit. There we go. It's a lot easier when you have helping hands, but it is what it is. Two sets of legs. Done. Put this over here. Probably have to bring the camera over there. Might be easier. It's hard to navigate everything and remember that there's a camera. So, let's see if we're seeing it. We should zoom out a bit on that. Caught it. Oh, there we go. I'm just too far away, that's all. Again, usually much easier when you have somebody helping you. Maybe I gotta go to this side to do it. Okay, well, I'm gonna hold it there for now, but pretty sure that's down. Double check. Well, 4 feet. That piece is just slouching because it doesn't have the whatchamacallit on it yet. Oh, I need a smaller one. Oh wait, will it be on the inside? Yeah, technically it'll be on the inside of that one, so I don't think that matters. Sorry. Just kind of working things out in my head here. So I also, instead of having just the wood, the plywood to the plywood, I also add one of these on the inside. First off, it adds strength to it, but also looking at the bolts and whatnot that I used from my old layout, even with the washers on there, it's too long. So you have to add that to make it a bit thicker, because I went through 2 of these last time. So that's what I had purchased this for, was to go through two thicknesses like that. And now it's much thinner, so I have to do that, and that. It's fun, I swear. Just trying to think of how I want to do this, because that's the front, and this is the piece that I normally have. So B for back, F for front. So I put that on there, and then I've got my holes that I can drill on there. So I think the best thing to do would either be to remove that, drill the holes, and then, yeah, probably. Yeah. So I have holes that are already marked out here as far as, you know, what goes where. Right? And I use this for both the 3 foot and the 2 foot. So that will get drilled there. And just to make sure we're even. Okay. Probably just put legs on both sides of this thing. That way it'll hold better. It's not a big deal, but gonna get the other legs. Bear with me. Hey, Danny. Oh yeah, I really like the height. The height's much better. I was mentioning that earlier, where it feels like it's a huge difference. Like a night and day difference, basically. Like I said, it's always good to have an extra set of hands, but the times that you don't, are usually the times where you really need.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now this should be a lot easier now because I've got all these legs on here. Which I should probably know better anyways, but in the essence of entertainment value, I'm sure that it was a painful experience watching me deal with that. So, you're welcome. Hey Weber, how's it going? See how much easier that was? I should have just done that right at the beginning. Okay. Wow, I broke a sweat and everything, guys. Now you know that there's some sort of dedication here. So because everything's already set to the correct height, that's good there. That's good there. I'm going to put fascia on here. So this isn't the final fascia. This stuff is not the most aesthetically pleasing to look at. So it is what it is. But great, now I just got to find the stupid hole. Where, oh where did it go? Oh, there it is. And right. Neat. And I'm stuck in here. Now I need the bigger bit. I can find where the bigger bit went. Sorry. So this is a modular model train layout. I'll show you a bit more. I know you're not really seeing too much there looking at it that way. But when I pan it back, so modular, so obviously these are all made in sections. They all come apart. I've got them all bolted together, except for obviously this one here, because I just added that. And, well, there's an ethanol facility. And then I have to add pink foam, just like all that there, to these ones. But I'm slowly making my way back. And then it's going to get rounded off at this end here with a couple more of the 3x3s. And then it'll be one big loop. I want to say it's about 20 by 20. Or sorry, not 20 by 20. 20 by 6, 7. 20 by 7. Yeah. 20 by 7. And if I remove, which probably will happen, because it is modular, I'll be able to take it with me. and might do the same setup, might do a similar setup, might build more modules and interchange them. I really like doing scenery, so once I'm done one module, if I ever finish one module, then I'll be able to swap it out and do the next one, and so on and so forth. Now, would I ever take this to a show? Probably not. I don't think it'll be show worthy. Also, again, if it's just me, probably not worth it. Take all day to set up, then take all day to take apart. So, probably be too tiring for a show to do by myself. So as I was saying there with the bolts, so I've got, these are the ones I used 2-3 layouts ago, and I had a very similar construction. I didn't do the plywood, I used just these, and I made my boxes with the cross sections. And so it's just it's the wing nut, 2 washers, right? Washer on each side. Only because the plywood's thinner, makes it a little bit harder to do this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up, whatchamacallit, putting that one piece of wood there that I put off to the side. I have to attach that on the back side of that module, or on the inside, I should say. So now that I know where those holes are, I can basically attach this. Pull this out. I need another one of those, just as a spacer. Sorry, I'm pretty sure you're looking at my back right now. For that, I do apologize. I'm just putting a couple of screws in here to hold the piece on the inside. the middle. These won't really disrupt anything. Whoop. It just more or less reinforces it. And now that I know where that is and that's in place, Jesus, why do I keep losing my boot? Okay. Go. There's one. There's two. And I want to take that off of there. Hopefully this works. Okay, so I don't need both legs anymore, I just want the one leg now. Or one set of legs, I should say. I'm saying it's one leg this entire time. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Nice. Let's move that out of the way. Just want to make sure everything is squared up here. Like a washer. So what I've been doing on the other side is that I've been cutting pieces of pink foam that are 1/2 inch, and then I place it right in here level so that it makes this whole thing flat, right? And just glue it in place, and it stays. And then what I do after that, once that dries, is that I put a piece on top as well that's also 1/2 inch. So it's almost like a 1 inch thick piece of foam that's supported by the frame, and then you know, it's held in place by the two squares, or in this case rectangles for these bigger ones. I haven't done the bigger ones yet, but all right, there we go. So that's another module that has been added, and I'm feeling good about it. Now I will want to check just to make sure that we are level here. that does look like it goes on a bit of a swivel, so I just want to bring it back this way a little bit. There we go. That looks okay. That looks okay. And that looks okay. Because isn't that what we strive for? For our layout to look just okay. At least that's what I strive for. I'm not a perfectionist, so as long as it works, the trains run, gets from point A to point B, I'm happy as a clam. That's right, GB, okay. It's just okay. But I think, I'm pretty happy with that, because for what it's worth, I've managed to build a new layout within, just a couple of weeks, I guess. It's been a couple of weeks. I mean, it was mostly taking down the other one. But it took longer to take apart the old layout than it has to put this one together. And like I said, a lot of the pieces that, that I've got cut here, a lot of it was done at the store. So all these strips of plywood, 1/2-inch plywood, it made real quick work of this. If I had to sit there and cut every single strip, then, it would be a little bit tougher. But I don't have a, table saw anyways. So I'd rather get those straight cuts and whatnot done on a big table saw. So there's no way I was going to sit there and jig that out either. Oh, that'd be terrible. Now, I do plan on making some bridge modules in the future and a few other ones that, they have their different purposes. Like if I go through a doorway, I'll make one that you can, it's almost like a lift out or a lift up. But we'll see. We'll see where we end up after this. I'm just kind of chipping away now just to see what I can kind of come up with as a standard kind of basic layout. Again, you don't have to be professional to be able to build something like this. It is fun to do, and you can kind of make it fit your space. With something that like this, like what I'm doing here, I chose modules and module sizes that kind of fit this whole area. I had to move some stuff around, and I'm going to be using the underneath of these for a lot of storage eventually. But the good thing is that once I get tracked down and things are wired up more or less, I'll be able to take each of these modules outside and spray them with the camo brown, which is what I really like doing. I prefer doing that over painting the rails by hand. It's more tedious that way. Although a lot of the stuff that I'm using is from the old layout, so some of it is already painted. But because you can kind of see it from both sides, I want to make sure that they're fully covered, and I'll be able to do that with the spray. So I'll probably take out, 2 or 3 at a time, spray them, let them dry, bring them in, set them back up, and then do the next couple. But I'm going to wait until all the track is down as far as main line and whatnot before I do anything like that. So who knows, I might not be spraying them until next summer. Unless I can get this done within the next month or two. Because as soon as October hits, it's a little bit harder to take them outside in the cold, right? So we'll see what happens. But I feel like I'm on the right track, pun intended, I think. So yeah, it's good. We're good. I'm having fun. as you should when you're doing this kind of thing. And from even the minor changes, going from like the lower height up to the 4-foot height, being able to walk around the layout as opposed to walking through the layout, I think that's going to be a lot more beneficial as well. If I need to do anything in the middle or on the back side of the module, there's, what is it? So that's a foot. There's 3 feet in between. So that's something else there, right? There's 3 feet in between that module and these modules. So I'll be able to get in there and not worry about knocking anything or bumping into anything. And I'll be able to put backdrops on there too, so that'll be fun. Yeah, but it's, like I said, it's getting there. I'm looking forward to doing this, like the ethanol plant especially, because I really enjoy the ethanol process, and I've got all the tank cars and cylindricals. It's honestly one of my favorite industries. You'd swear that it would be paper and lumber, but it's actually ethanol. So really excited for this. So we'll see what happens, but we're getting there. We're already halfway there, basically. And as soon as I get these 2 other modules up, all I have left is 2 more, and I can really start my main line at that point and get running again. Because I don't get to run, and there's no such thing as an off season for me. I do this all year long. So during the summer, this is peak time where I can spray paint things outside, work on things, and just go ham, right? Because in the wintertime, I just hunker down and work on kits and whatnot, little things indoors, and little projects, maybe some scenery. We'll see, but if we get to that point here. But yeah, it'll be fun to check out new backdrop as well. I've been thinking about different backdrops that I'd like to do. I know that I've been using the blue paint and whatnot to do some of the backdrops before, but I was wondering if I should do like the photo backdrop again, because I do appreciate the photo backdrops more. I think it adds more realism, and it really sets the scene a lot more. So, and another thing, huge difference. If you go back and you watch any of those where I was running trains and whatnot, there was a lot of dark areas, and it's such a pain working in the dark and having half the locomotive in the shade almost. Now everything is lit up, everything is much brighter, and yeah, it seems overall way nicer. If I can say that, it seems way nicer down here. So probably get some more of these light strips just to make sure that we have even more lighting. I think I might just need 4 more. 4 more tube lights might work. You can put a bunch on there. But yeah. So, anyways, thanks, Split Rock. Yeah. Well, we'll come back. We'll do more. And I know it's a little different for a Saturday night, because typically Saturday nights I'm working on a kit, but I've been working on those box cars excessively, and I only have a few left to finish up, and then they're all ready to go. Oh, that's fine. I mean, you can see me. I was just showing the layout. The layout's more important than me. I don't know, me, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I only have about like 6 cars left to finish. I've got a whole bunch of them boxed up. Perry's have all been clear coated, so all the red ones that he did for me, they've been clear coated. They're all boxed up. My first 6 green ones, they've been all boxed up. They're all ready to go. So I just have a few more to work on, but I didn't want to do that tonight. I wanted to change it up for you guys, do something a little bit different, just so I'm not, beating a dead horse, as they say. So, layout build, right? I don't think you guys have seen me do that in a while, so it's good to change it up. So just so you guys are aware, Monday night is James and Mike over on Off the Rails Monday, and then we'll be over on Denny's channel next Thursday, because we've got I guess we'll call it an encore episode of Third Rail Thursday, and I don't know what Denny's got planned, but we'll see. We're gonna have to tune in and see, because it's always a treat. So, and then come back in 2 weeks. I normally do GVO After Dark the last Thursday of the month, but we'll see where we're at. Maybe I'm laying track by then. That would be so cool. We'll lay some track and we'll put cork down. I think that's an idea. If I can get to that point, I hope so. There's so much to do still, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, guys. Well, you have yourselves a great night. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Go Veer, Go Home, and we're building the layout. We're getting to it. So come back real soon, because it ain't over till it's over. Also,